time for the Loco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Arraj.
Hey, Loco Sports fans, Justin Jarrett and Max Arraj with you to start things off tonight. Wes Kerr coming in hot. Will be along shortly to join us and talk sports in the Low Country. And we got a great show lined up tonight. It feels good to be back in season, to have news to report, not just be grasping at straws talking about the Olympics and whatever we saw on Instagram today. The summer was fun and freewheeling, but it's good to be kind of back in business mode. And we do have some news to get through tonight, but we also have some great guests lined up. We got Dyer, assistant basketball coach from USCB men's basketball, going to come on and fill us in on what they were up to this summer. The recruiting, the camp that they had last month, where they had a bunch of kids out there, and just kind of get a feel for the vibes over there about how the community is buying in and supporting, and what it feels like going into year two. So really excited about that. Then we're going to talk some golf. We got May River girls golf coach Nathan Campbell going to join us later on. They just won the Lady Bengal Invitational up at Blythewood, up at Columbia Country Club, by 22 shots. They shot 612 over 2 days. So really good showing from them. Coach Campbell going to jump on with this friend of the program. Yes. Had him on a number of times. Look forward to hearing also about his summer baseball trip that he took on his way down to Texas with the ladies. And there's Wes right there coming in hot. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, had a great time over in Bluffton, hanging out with some awesome people, and now getting ready for what should be another great show on this Tuesday night.
Heck yeah, I got Dyer lined up. He's in the green room already. Yeah. And we got Campbell coming on to talk golf. Just mentioned that the Sharks won it by a wide margin, 22 shots. I think Chapin was in second. Got a couple of volleyball results as well that we'll get into later on. JP2 off to a good start. And I do have an update on Jackson Sanders and from JP2, and it's what we suspected. I mean, the arm was broken, fractured 2 places. Yeah, it wasn't great. The elbow and the humerus, it's fully disconnected there. So
that's a huge loss for JP2.
It's tough too. Senior year, you just hate it, man. It's really rough. First half of the first game. But I
never know.
Thanks to Louise Sanders for the update. It stinks, man. Stinks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's very, it's very, very difficult, especially for JP2. We knew they were going to have a tough schedule this year, and
especially for
we were hoping they showed some life against Colton Prep. Once Sanders went down, it just kind of went a bit awry for JP2. But shout out to him, man. I'll keep him thoughts and prayers. I know that's a really tough thing to have happen your senior year. It's never easy. So
it's rough. So he'll be biggest cheerleader on the sideline now, I'm sure, and be pumping him up. With that, the show tonight presented by our all-star sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorney of Loco Sports, and our original sponsor. And they're also the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. So we appreciate Mickelson Law Firm. They've been with us since the beginning back in 2017. Didn't even know them yet. And Ryan reached out and said he wanted to sponsor my website. And it blew me away. I got a sponsor. The first one. It was real. And so we appreciate all their support over the years, and they never hesitate to re-up year after year. So thanks to our all-star sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm. And tonight they present our first guest, Dyer, the assistant basketball coach for the men at USCB. What's going on, Coach?
Oh, life's good, man. Justin, Max, Wes, man, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure of mine, and I love what you all do. It's my pleasure being on here.
Great to talk to you. Luke, how was your summer?
Summer's awesome, man. You can't beat life down here in the Low Country, right? So, no, life's good. Summer's awesome. We got to we were busy recruiting early, and then we wrapped our class up, moving on to the next, but got to enjoy Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head. It's one of the things we tell our players is the area is beautiful, the area is the best. So I, as a coach, got to enjoy it myself.
Nice.
Absolutely. And you guys had a big camp last month. It's funny because I got a message from a friend who said, "Hey, USCB men's basketball had a camp last summer. You know if they're going to do it again?" So I reached out to Coach Ron, and he's like, "Yeah, we got it on tap. We got it on tap." But it looked like it was a huge success. You had a ton of kids out there, right?
Huge success. We had over 100 signups, over 100 campers.
Wow.
As you can see,
Yeah, a
kids
little
had a
low.
blast.
Came through a little low quality when I
Nice.
got it over text, I guess, but we still
Uh,
get the
I
point.
I apologize, but no,
No worries.
we had over 8 of our own players here, so they all got to interact with the kids and kind of got to build in with the community. So it was wonderful. I have zero complaints. All the kids had a great time.
Yeah.
They're all very respectful, great kids. We were very, very happy with the turnout. They all got to see the facility, all got to interact with myself, our whole coaching staff, with Coach Ron and Coach Jalen Flowers, and over 8 of our own players who we all got to check up on. And they all got to interact with the players, and that's what it's all about, man. So
Yeah.
we got a lot of love from parents, a lot of love from kids, and I still remember days when I was their age going to camp. So it's all about making memories, giving back to the community in any way
Absolutely.
we can help out and get kids in the gym, man. That's what it's all about.
Heck yeah. Great stuff. Speaking of the recruiting trail, you guys did some work this year. You brought in some more guys. I'm excited to see some of these cats. The Atwell kid in particular, I've seen some of his video, and that cat can fly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got some guys coming in. So tell us about these newcomers we're going to see, in the Shark Tank in November, in the Cove. That's what we
Absolutely.
call it.
Absolutely. The Cove, man. Absolutely.
Go. Yeah.
We'll start with the old heads first. We brought in 2 seniors. We'll start with Alejandro Rayla. He's a
Yeah.
senior coming from Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
Very well decorated, great, great, great guy. He
Puerto
was on the
Rican guy,
Florida
right?
Puerto Rican. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir. He loves every second of it too. Ask him anything about Puerto Rico, he's got any answer for you. But he comes with some experience, some leadership. He's been on some really, really good teams. The team that went to the Final Four,
Yeah. Yeah.
actually, and he comes from great coaches in Coach Dusty May. So he's someone that from day one will look for his leadership on and off the court. He's someone that brings a little bit of maturity
Hmm.
to our team and to our locker room that
Yeah.
younger guys can kind of look up to because he's been there, done that,
Yeah.
and he's been around some very, very talented players and some successful teams.
And that was something you
Um,
guys kind of lacked last year because you were so young. I mean, you just didn't kind of have that captain type guy, that veteran leader. I
exactly.
guess Pulse was he was kind of that guy for you, but this gives you somebody another old head, so that's cool.
Exactly. Kind of someone that Kyle and Alejandro and I'll speak on it later, Pat and Kenny,
Yep.
they're guys that our young guys can look up to and they're seniors, like they're 21, 22, 23 years old. Like
Right.
they've been there, done that, they've been through college and they're people that the game's kind of slowed down, life's kind of slowed
Right.
down for
Right.
them.
Yeah.
And then so after Alejandro is next, I'll go with Pat Ariel. It's kind of a different story. Great kid,
Yeah.
different story. He's been through a lot in a good way. He's
Yeah.
brings some experience as well that again we didn't have last year. Big guy, big kid, great heart, and he's got love for the game. He's very skilled and very he can be used in many different ways on and off the court. So we're
Big
again
qualities to have.
leader. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And again,
And
those two,
he's going to be a force inside. He's going to be a problem.
absolutely, absolutely. And he can even step out and knock some shots down. He can. He's
Yeah.
very, very skilled.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
he was recruited
skilled.
by South Carolina out of high school. He signed with South Carolina out of high school, right? So like
Yes, sir.
he's a D1. There's a D1 big man in there,
Yep.
and you kind of hinted at it, but he stepped away from the game for a while, right? Like just kind of get his mind right, and then came back at a JUCO, and then ended up at Upstate. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So no, he's a great guy. We love having him around the gym. Love having him around campus. He's going to be someone that again our young guys can look up to. and he can kind of talk to them and kind of guide them in his own way. And we're gonna look for that. Like young guys have questions, man. Look at Pat and Alejandro, Kyle, Kenny. Like they've been there. Ask their expertise. Like they're gonna be able to talk to you in a different way than myself and Coach Ron can and Coach David.
Some emotional maturity is going to be huge.
But and then, Coach, what's it been like so far working with the high energy guy of Ron Fudala? Because he kind of jumps out of the arena, the gym himself, with his energy and his excitement every time. That's an understatement for sure. But yeah, he's awesome, and
absolutely, and
home run hire for this USCB
home
squad
run
program.
Man. He's the best. He brings, and it's not like just he doesn't like pick and play when he wants to bring energy. It's every single day. And that's something I look forward to every day. Cause like you want to work for someone that brings energy, it brings positivity, and he does that, man. He brings it for the kids. He brings it for the athletic department. He brings it for the whole university. So, if there, in terms of energy, there's no one that can even compare to, and it's all positive. It's all the best. How can I help the university? How can I display any of my own talent to help the kids? And that's what I really, admire about him. Like he really has the kids, their kids, like they're the players, the young men, their best interests at heart. And that's something to look forward to.
Yep.
They're all kids to me. He's got amazing energy. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, looking at the guys you've recruited and the team you got put together, we now know like how tough the Peach Belt can be when it comes to men's and women's basketball.
Yes,
how
sir.
do you guys look going into this upcoming season? How do y'all feel as you head into the season?
Very excited. Very, very excited. We're happy. So we brought in with the guys we have coming back and the 6 we brought in. I'm very, very excited with the crew we have. We're going to be someone that from day one is going to be completely different than the last day of our last game. Guys that are bought in, very hardworking, and they're going to be good representatives for the university, which is the most important. Like, so they're guys that we want to go to war with. And that's what we tell them, like, guy, like it's a long year. We're in a very, very good conference. Like you guys are people that are going to be reps of the university on and off the court. It's a lot, but we think you're the best men for the task at hand. And they're all bought in. Like they're hardworking young men. They're bought into the process, and we're very, very excited with the team we have, and I think our ceiling's very high. And as we start, it's just getting 1% better each day. Each kid buying into the process, and man, I truly love the guys we have in and the ceiling we have.
You got everybody back on campus now? You guys starting to get after it?
Yes, sir.
Started from what I've heard.
Classes started today. First day of class today.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting days here on USCB campus.
Man, I always loved move-in day. Like I really did. I got a great workout. It was just good vibes, and I met a bunch of new friends. Like I always loved move-in day. The energy coming back to campus just it was just palpable. So I know you have to be riding high because when that happens, it's not far away. So so how many practices have you guys had yet? You guys going like 3 a days to keep up with Fudala or what?
3? No, not quite, not yet. So our first official day will be later this week.
Okay.
But no, the gym's available for them to work out, but we've had 0 official workouts yet.
Okay. Is there a Midnight Madness thing happening or what?
We keep telling our guys they're open to. We'd love to have an event because we have an outdoor court on campus.
Yeah.
And we now have lights.
Yeah.
So we're working on a Midnight Madness, a dunk contest, all that. Like we'd love to have that for the campus, man. We're gonna work on it.
Get the excitement early. Get the students involved. I will tell you what, it was, I mean, the students made it even more special last year to see that kind of turnout throughout the season. You know, the inaugural year, you want to have good support from the community, but the students and the faculty and the entire population on campus, they were in awe of what was going on out there. So, I mean, just taking it as a coach, I mean, looking back at how special that first year was, not just, you know, to remember it, but to set the tone for what's to come and to set the foundation for what USCB basketball is, because it is already such a special thing to be a part of.
Yeah, Wes, man, we created history, and that's not just the men's basketball team. That's the men's, women's. That's the athletic department. That is every
University.
fan that showed up to a game and supported these young men. Like I said, we're nothing without our support in the community, whether that be fans, students, admin, faculty, all that. It's a whole process and whole product, man. Like we're nothing without them, and we truly cherish every last one of them that really supports our young men.
Yeah, and it's truly all hands on deck on game day too. I mean, you got people with pretty lofty titles doing jobs with not very lofty status. You know, like it's everybody's pulling in the same direction to make it happen. And
Pulling the wrong way.
I know you love that. I mean, I love that. That's part of what I loved about working in athletics and what I love about working in environments where it's a collaborative effort and everybody picks a job and takes a oar, and we see how far we can go and how great we can make it. So I know you appreciated those efforts from everybody around. As we go into year two, do you notice a difference, like a difference in like the community? Like now that people have seen it and they know what it is, like do people seem a little more bought in? Do we have more Sand Shark fans now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We as a whole athletic department were very hands-on the move-in process for all students in the past couple of days. And between parents, students, they were all very appreciative, and they all multiple mentioned um, going to games, watching games, knowing the product that we put out there. So that was very exciting, man. Like it's exciting people knowing that, and then
Yeah.
yeah, just the community within parents from camps, kids coming in, they
Yeah.
all know the guys, so them knowing and kind of having a hands-on feel just kind of gives them more of a
Yeah.
something to look forward to,
I
something
mean,
to
that's how
be
it
a
should
part
be. They
of.
should be
Yeah.
celebrities in our community, really.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they should be minor
You're right.
celebrities in our community. When kids see them out, they should be like, "Oh, that's Kevon from USCB." You know, like
Oh yeah,
they should recognize him.
yeah,
Kev,
because
that
we
dude is a dog, by the way.
Yeah.
best guy in the world. He
Ah,
is. He's the nicest guy.
he's great, and
Very,
he's
very
an animal.
respectful, and he works harder than anyone you'll know.
Yep. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Undoubtedly.
man.
He's a
No,
guy. He's a guy
I
you want to go to war with.
foxhole guys. I call them foxhole
Yes.
guys. Guy you
Absolutely.
want in your foxhole with you, but you want as many as those as you can get on the roster. You guys got anything else for Coach Dyer before we let him get on with his night?
Yeah, I mean, just the approach of year two versus year one. Now that you've had a full season under your belt, obviously you're going with different players, a couple mainstays from last year. But how have your thoughts kind of shifted of how you approach these months leading up to the season here at USCB?
Yeah, it's Western. It's so in year one, it's all about setting the culture, setting the standard, and our expectation for these guys. And we didn't really know even as a staff what that was going to look like. Like we're all
Right.
like we never been through that process. Neither of us have been through the first year of inaugural season. So it was all
Right.
new for everyone, but we set that standard, right? And so year two, how do we take those next steps, improving the culture, improving the standard, improving the expectations? And so that's just how we approach it every day. Like, guys, we have an expectation, and we're going to continue to grow and continue to help you all grow. And as long as we're on the same page, man, we're all going to grow.
Yeah.
So from year one to year two, we're still going to be the same people, but we're going to have higher expectations, and we're going to continue to try to grow the product. And that's just through the process of our day-to-day approach to practice, our day-to-day approach to film, our day-to-day approach to our relationships with our players or through our staff, throughout the community. It's just how do we continue to grow ourselves to show that on the court. So it's just expectations, improving the process, and that'll all take care of itself on the back end.
Yeah, man. Max, you got anything else for Coach Dyer?
Good luck on the upcoming season. I think everyone here is just as excited as you are for the upcoming season. Because we were super excited last year, but we're excited to see how much better this team will play this upcoming season. And with that Peach Belt schedule, I'm really excited to see how far we can these Sand Sharks can go.
Yeah, man. I look forward to being back on the call. The Sand Shark Game Day Network. I had a hand in sort of getting that thing off the ground years ago, and to see the heights they've taken it to now, the broadcast that they're putting out is unreal.
I'll be back on the call in about 2 weeks for some soccer.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You a soccer guy, Dyer?
I am actually.
Yeah.
I attended I'd say most of our women's soccer team, and last year they had a great year.
I'm
pumped. I'm looking forward to watching them again this year.
Yeah, you guys get great support from the soccer team, so you definitely got to go out and show love in the fall.
100%. 100%.
Right on, man.
They're the best.
Well, send our best to Fudala and the whole crew over there at USCB, and we'll talk with you real soon, man. But thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, sir. Justin, Max, Wes, thank you all. Have a great night, and let's go Sand Sharks. Fins up.
Keep those fins up, baby.
Sand Sharks.
Go.
See you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
It's Luke Dyer, USCB men's basketball, joining us tonight, catching us up on the Sand Sharks. Can't wait, man. I'm getting psyched about being back over there in November to call some games. So much fun, especially those men's games. They are just manic, frantic, just unbelievable back and forth games. So a lot of fun. MVP sponsors of LowcoSports. We got Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, with Keller Williams of the Low Country, and she'd love to help you find your place in the Lowco or upgrade to a bigger, better place. That's Megan Jarrett, official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the biz, and if you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection from Homegrown to make sure it's built right every step of the way. Hospice Care of the Low Country is your official hospice provider of LowcoSports. They provide hospice care, palliative care, free grief counseling, and much more from a caring staff that cares about our community at Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And those MVP sponsors present our next guest tonight. We've got double booked tonight, baby. We got Nathan Campbell joining us, the victorious coach of the May River Sharks, bringing home the title today from Blythewood. Ooh, I'm getting some feedback off you, Coach. Maybe
what do I have to do?
Volume up. I don't know. Turn your volume down a little, maybe.
Down.
Output. Yeah, that might be better. Can you still hear me?
Good. Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah.
Better, much better. Congratulations, Coach. Outstanding couple of days up in Columbia Country Club at the Lady Bengal Invitational. You guys went into the season with the goal of shooting under 300 for a round, and you are closing in on it already. Went 308, 304, so you're knocking on the door. But I know you're proud because you were blowing me up with texts after. But just tell us about the performance this week. Winning by 22 shots. Incredible.
Yeah, it was a grind out there. Those girls, it's the funniest part about it is never satisfied. And so actually that 300 goal was last night at dinner. So last night at dinner, they shot a 308 in round one, and they immediately here's the funniest part of this thing, and I don't mind sharing it because they made it, very big point to say it out loud. I will be in the Sammy the Shark suit for May River once they shoot that 300.
Ooh,
and I was trying to.
There's the motivation right there.
Yeah, and so they're all having a horrible round day in their minds because they wanted to shoot the 300. It was a season goal. They didn't hey, you don't have to do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
This was by the end of the year.
I was kind of nervous when then they finished the round, and I'm like, oh crap, do I have to get in that suit this week? So
right. Thought you might have to be there for the home opener.
And again, they're grinders though. This today was a mentally. It's the end of that first tournament. They haven't played any golf. Right. Like this is the first time they've played since nationals as a team. And of course, they pick up right where they left off at nationals, getting 15th at nationals, and then you go into the. It was a tough field. You know, you've got mostly 5A schools from in and around Columbia that have played that country club. Most of them call it home. It's a home course for a lot of those people, and you know, being a team that's led by two seniors is pretty nice. So
I mean, the better part is y'all won by 22 shots against most of those schools that play there as their home course. The fact that you guys beat out 5A programs, top level 5A programs playing at that course and winning by 22 shots is something absolutely amazing. And I'm sure, you know, that gives you a huge boost for what should be a really, really fun and exciting rest of the season for you guys.
Yeah, we've got a tough schedule. So this weekend we're headed to Ainer. We are at a 2-day tournament, and then we leave immediately from there, drive to Charleston, and play another 1-day tournament the next day. So play 3 straight days of 18 holes.
Oh wow!
Wow. Yeah, they wanted this. They wanted to play the toughest schedule in the state's history. They've got more holes of golf than any boys or girls team out there. This is the most talented team you will maybe ever see in the Loco. So like this is it, you know, because this is Claire and Robin's senior year, and they're putting on a show for people because that's really. And then you've got Haley and Ava coming into their own. You know, they had a tough first day, you know, in their minds. And then they come out second day and, you know, they grinded through that second day and that's kudos to the work they've all put in, but it's, you know, especially it's a team game. So they care about each other. So the cool thing is if one isn't playing well, they think they're letting the other ones down. So they continue that grind because they know they're in it for the ones that they've built that relationship with.
That's the beauty of team golf. That really is the beauty of team golf when you can really play for each other. It's because that's one of the hardest things about golf is staying motivated to grind when you don't have it, and when you know that there's 3 other kids counting on you. That can definitely be a big factor. But you mentioned Haley Zhao knocking 2 shots off from an 80 to a 78 today. Ava Cunningham knocked 6 shots off from an 83 to a 77. So if Claire and Robin just shoot what they shot yesterday, you get your 300. You're in the Sammy the Shark suit.
That was the worrisome part for me. But not worrisome, right? Because again, these girls are goal oriented. It wasn't that they were up 14 shots. It was what are we going to do tomorrow? And so that's a kudos to who they are as women and women's golf. Like they're not satisfied with anything, and I love that they have that training regimen and that mentality that's day after
good
day.
enough's not good enough.
You look at the competition this week. They knocked off 3 5A schools behind them. They beat Chapin, a very solid squad. They beat Lexington and River Bluff. Those are very excellent all-around athletic schools that they beat. And then you look at the top 40 competition like AC Flora. They crushed South Aiken. So obviously early in the season, it's 1 weekend of golf, 1 week of golf, but you gotta be feeling really good about how the way this squad is, number one, led by your veteran seniors, which is important, and number 2, the intrinsic motivation that they have, and it's already looking like another very special group over there at May River.
Easy job for Coach Campbell, huh?
Yeah,
I'm telling you. It's nice to just be able to sit back and they know how to get themselves out of ruts. Like my whole thing is psychology, just to be there and smiling, you know, just to be that one that's like, hey, you can say whatever you need to me, right? And so let's get it out and let's go right back to work. And it's the greatest part is their personalities too. So each of them are different. But each of them have a different motivation too. So that was one of the things I asked them at the beginning of the year that I said I wanted to have individual conversations throughout the year was, what's your why? Let's hone in on what your why is. And for Claire and Robin, who've been playing forever, That they already know it, right? And so that's why they're committed to college, and that's kudos to them. You know, I'm so happy for Claire and Robin being able to go off to school and continue their education, but also, know that they have this as well. So it's a dream of theirs, and they get to live that out. And then the other girls are motivated because they see them living that dream, right? And the relaxation that comes with being committed to a school, right? The stressful part was last year, right? I got to do these things in order to get this, but now they got it. So,
now Claire's committed to Clemson, and where's Robin committed?
Robin is actually committed to St. Francis. It's up Pittsburgh. My grandma
lives
really
St.
close
Francis,
by
PA.
there, so.
St. Franpa, as I call it.
So it's a really
our friend
cool
of
time
this program. Our friend of the program, Bracken Lambert from USCB. He did a year postgraduate internship for the St. Franpa. What are they? The Red Storm or Red Flashes or something like that?
Red Flashes, right? Maybe. I think
something
they were the Friars back in the day.
But he worked there for a year. He worked there for a year.
Okay.
So, yeah. There you go.
I gotta ask though, does that Sammy the Shark bet keep going throughout the season until they get that 300?
Yeah,
that was it was a season goal. That was stupid.
Okay, that was a season-long goal.
What was that?
Well, they almost already did it.
Hey man, if that's the case, I can't wait to see you wearing one during the.
I cannot wait, dude.
Oh, it's gonna be like 4 or 5 with the route they're taking them, and they want that. Like that's their to embarrass me is like a.
Are you gonna have to do it every time they shoot 300?
That was their understanding of it because they were trying to explain that to me the day after, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That's fantastic.
There's only 5 home games,
I don't know why I did that.
Right. So
this can carry over into basketball season.
Yeah, exactly. I have to wear it throughout the. I hope I don't get fired from this. Like I didn't really check with Dr. Webb if I was allowed to do this.
I think they'll embrace
it.
Probably
ask him to work tomorrow.
I think they'll embrace that kind of thing for sure.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have a problem if it's embarrassing me. Yeah, I don't think they'll have an issue with it at all. No.
Well, and you guys get to play the state. You get to play the state tournament at home too, right, Rose Hill?
Yeah. So actually, we don't leave the county after. It's so funny. We are in 8 tournaments this year, right? So we're going and traveling right at the beginning. But after September 18th, we don't leave the county again because. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because Moss Creek is the last big tournament, and that's the big one, right? The women's. Yep. And then we go, Cat Island for regionals, Lower State at Crescent Point, state championship at Rose Hill. So we're not even really leaving a 15-mile radius there for a while.
You just keep working your way closer to home.
Closer to home, and so. And that's what I told people, after the state championship this year, I might just walk home from Rose Hill. So,
yeah. So, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for them to put you in that shark suit. I look forward to that.
And great for us to have the opportunity to see these firsthand and cover these. I mean, that's what we love about living here and being part of this golf
in the Sammy the Shark suit. So,
yeah, that's going to be great. I want to hear more.
I don't know.
So you mentioned the tournament down in Texas this summer. I want to hear more about your circuitous route to get there and all the ballparks you visited and what the highlights were.
So my girls meant the world to me. So when that all came together, it was really just like, hey, let's plan this whole trip around my girls being in Texas, right? So when I left my house, I left here 26 days. It was 26 total days, right? So I left here, went to Winston-Salem, stayed with my mom for a few days, took her to a single-A baseball game because I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, the best stadium in America. Right? Here's my prop.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
It is a great stadium.
It is a great stadium.
Again, so that's a single-A team, right? Greensboro Grasshoppers.
Yep, the Grasshoppers.
Yep. So, and it was funny, a few of the guys I told my mom were going to be moved up, one of them already actually got moved up. So, but then he got traded. So whatever, in one of those trades. So, so then I went to Pennsylvania, but I went through West Virginia, my home state, on West Virginia Day. And one of the things I stopped and got some pepperoni rolls on my way to Pittsburgh. Right?
Yes.
Yep. stopped in Pittsburgh, went and took my 95 grandmother to the casino, her request on that one.
Oh.
Yeah, and we were comped because she is a frequent flyer at the casino. So let's just say we got a lot of we got free food.
She's a high roller.
We were taking
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Granny's a high roller.
That was a high roller at 95. In every sense of the word, high roller. So yeah, I was wheeling her around and then I went to the Pirates and Reds game. So the game I went to, the Pirates game, O'Neal Cruz was the 9th player to hit one out in the water on the fly. So I got to see a ball just get demolished.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. Yeah.
There you go. And it was on ESPN. Yes. And so a few days. So what I did was I went to Columbus from there, spent the day with my best friend from high school, watched his kid play an all-star baseball game. And then the next day I went to the Reds Pirates game and I saw Ellie and O'Neal hit a home run in Cincinnati at the Reds Pirates game, right?
Oh, nice.
And I stayed in Covington, Kentucky, and walked across the bridge to the stadium. So I walked to and from the stadium from my hotel.
That's cool.
I've done that a couple times. Really cool. It's fun.
And then,
it really is. It's kind of neat too, and that's where the cheap hotels are, and I'm cheap. So, and so that. To Indianapolis. My brothers live 15 miles apart in Indianapolis. Got to play uncle, took my nephews to the zoo, got to see one of my nephews in swim lessons at like the Carmel Swim Center, where like all of the Olympians train, is where my nephew is training. Whatever.
Learning how to swim.
Yeah, learning how to swim, and there's like Olympians' names up on the wall.
That's wild.
Like,
awesome.
Crazy.
So
you
then
live a good life.
Yeah, I did the day game in Chicago. So I went because there was a rescheduled day game, Braves versus the White Sox, right?
Oh, Chicago White Sox.
Chris Sale pitching.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Sale
against the White Sox.
He loses 1-0 off of a home run from Luis Robert in the first inning.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice.
Right? Just a weird game, right?
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
right.
I haven't seen many of those White Sox wins this year, so.
Yeah, that's true. That was a rarity.
After that, they didn't win for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen many Braves ones.
I pretty much cursed them. I was like, this will be the last win they get for a while. And it was.
And then you made it to Kaufman. You made it to Kaufman for a couple, right? You took it a couple
that
of
was
Kaufman.
July 3rd and 4th. So I left Indianapolis and drove to, because that was just a day game. I went up and had a Italian beef at the place that the Bear was made, the show The Bear. Italian beef there. Then I went to St. Louis and I ate across from the stadium because they were out of town playing in Pittsburgh. So I just ate at one of the barbecue places, had some St. Louis barbecue there at right across from the stadium, because they were actually setting up for Def Leppard and Journey inside the stadium. So they were putting the stadium like
That's a hell of a double bill.
Dude, there you go.
As long as you got fried ravioli while you're in St. Louis, man.
I did that for my appetizer. That was the appetizer.
Toasted wrap. I gotta have
this
toasted
was that. This is a this one thinking
epic, right?
I
did
research, but it was something that apparently that's one place my dad wants to take me sometime to St. Louis for a baseball trip. I mean, it's nice, like you said. You got St. Louis, you got Chicago. You got Kansas City.
KC.
Right.
Kansas City was surprisingly good. And because there's a hotel across the interstate and it's across the George Brett Bridge. So I walked across the George Brett Bridge and walked into the stadium in 7 minutes from the hotel.
Wow.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yes, perfect, right? And I stayed for July 3rd and 4th, got the drone show, fireworks and all that. It's Kansas City, middle of America, salt of the earth people. I'm walking around having a good time, right? Then went to Arlington before I had to stay in Frisco for the national championship for the girls golf team, right? So I caught Arlington the day before, and then I caught Houston the day after I was out from the girls playing for their 3 days, right? And then I stopped in New Orleans on the way home for beignets in the morning, and then bolted back.
Cafe Du Monde?
Cafe Du Monde.
Yeah, man.
Right there on the water.
That was an epic trip.
That's a
26 days, 18 states, 4,000 miles.
Man, I'm jealous.
Max, that would be
so much fun, dude.
Quite a fun thing
Now
to do.
that
one of these
also,
days
I
when
don't
my
have
kids are grown, we're
I don't
doing
have
it
any
together.
dog. I don't have any,
No,
responsibility.
Yeah, that's great. That's an epic trip. I've so like you went to all these baseball parks. I have an aunt. I don't know how old she is now, but in a 2-year span, she went to every Major League Baseball ballpark within a 2-season span.
In 2 years, that's intense.
Yeah,
that's
and
intense.
I said to her, I was like, that is what I'm gonna do one day when I have enough money on my own. I'm doing that because there's so many ballparks that I haven't gone to yet that I'm like that are on my bucket list and I just haven't gone to yet.
I've been to several, but there's a lot more.
For you to do a trip like that, that's absolutely amazing. And it wasn't just Major League
now,
games.
Here's the
funnest
you part.
Did single A games too.
Yeah, there's something special.
I only had to pay for a hotel 5 days. Out of that 21 days, I only paid for 5 days of hotel rooms.
Couch surfing, baby.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Good.
Yeah, well,
it's good to have friends.
Brothers,
yes, that is helpful.
They don't live like me. They got big guest rooms, so I was fine.
Right on, man. Nice. Well, congratulations on the great start to the season. We know it's the first of many terrific showings for your girls, but we'll keep tabs with you guys throughout the season, and we'll definitely be there at the end to hopefully see you guys lifting that trophy. But always great to talk with you, man.
Hopefully. Yeah, and remember, we got that May River Invitational the week after.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be the week after Labor. So September 8th and 9th, we're at Hilton Head Lakes. And then on the 9th, we're at Palmetto Bluff. So the final round at Palmetto Bluff, we've got Chapin, Dorman, we got all the state champion this year. Yeah. So it's going to be the most competitive field probably all year. So, we'd love to come out. Please come on out on there, and we'd love to have you out.
Yeah.
It's on Sunday.
Right on, man.
And we're going to start it at 8 a.m.
All right. We'll see you there, man. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks again, guys.
Take care, Nate. Nathan Campbell, May River Girls Golf, good friend of mine, good dude. We're having a lot of success over there.
What a trip that was!
Yeah, what a trip!
My God, I'm so
that's
jealous,
so much fun.
Dude.
Yeah. Let me just on the way home. Let me stop in New Orleans for some beignets, man.
He was sending me photos throughout the trip. He was sending me photos from PNC and from Cincy and from Kansas City. I was living vicariously, but hearing him talk about it all in one run, like, oh my gosh, what an amazing moment.
Awesome. That's an epic trip. That is an epic trip. I mean, good Lord, 18 states, 4,000 miles, man. That is a trip. 26 days. I mean, good Lord, that is something I would love to do one day.
Man.
That is absolutely
so jealous.
Awesome.
But hey, that girls golf team's legit. We're gonna keep tabs on them.
Sure.
Hey, I don't think it'll be long until we'll have to wear the shark
in my
suit.
mind, I think.
Yeah, he's wearing that shark suit. You can guarantee
I think
that.
they may be. Yeah, they're definitely.
He's gonna love it. He's looking forward to wearing that shark suit. He can't wait to wear that shark suit.
I don't know if there's any other. I mean, looking at the 4A landscape for girls golf this year, I don't think anyone's getting close to May River. If May River can beat some 5A schools, if May River can win by 22 shots against 3 5A schools that are among some of the top 5A programs, and
Misa says they dynasty.
Yeah,
dynasty.
If they can win by 22 shots against 3 of the top 5A programs in the state, then I don't know if anyone is going to get close.
To be fair, in team golf, 22 shots is not as much as it feels like.
No, it's. I mean, you divide it by what
across 4 kids. You know, I mean, like it can swing. Yeah. It can swing quick.
It can definitely swing, but the fact that they won that tournament on a course that basically
it was
a good
impressive.
number of those schools consider that their home course. That's very
still a
impressive.
Pretty sizable win, but I mean, it's not a complete blowout. I mean, there's some. And you never know. 2 days of golf. There are crazy things that can happen in a 2-day span of golf. You really never know. So you gotta be on your game when it matters.
Somebody might get the yips.
I need to look at the tournament finals as team wise. But who was the next 4A school on that tournament?
That in front of me. I know Flora was. Yeah, I know Flora was right
way
there.
Down there.
Yeah, but we got Chapin, Lexington, River Bluff, Mountain,
South Aiken.
South Aiken was 7th.
Yeah.
So but they shot a 7:03. Maybe we shot a 6:12. That's almost 100-stroke difference between those two schools.
Yeah, that's incredible.
They beat Florida by 130 strokes. That is mind-boggling.
Right.
But
that's crazy. That's just insane.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're crazy good. It's gonna be fun. Let's get the varsity sponsors in. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they've helped us continue to expand our coverage on those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Coles, our official chiropractor of Loco Sports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club is our official wrestling sponsor and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. You can take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club. A couple of volleyball scores tonight, guys. Not a whole lot. Well, first of all, from last night, JP2 knocked off Veritas 3-0, 25-8, 25-16, 25-21. And then JP2 came back tonight and beat Hilton Head Prep 3-1 in a tough match. So Golden Warriors are 7-0, including a preseason tournament. They're off to a great start. Patrick Henry blanked Holy Trinity 3-0 tonight, 25-15, 25-11, 25-19. So Patrick Henry, that was their debut. I think they're excited about their girls this year.
That JP2 squad is looking strong. I mean, to beat Prep by tonight, that's pretty big. But the other, I think there was one other volleyball matchup. I think Hilton Head Christian Academy was playing tonight as well. They played Savannah Country Day at home. They lost 3-1, I believe.
Gotcha. I didn't have that on last night.
I can't remember.
I didn't have that on their schedule. I saw they lost last night to May River. I just saw this 2-0.
Let me look it up here.
Hilton Head Christian.
See it here.
25-23, 25-16.
Let me look it up here. Hold on, I just saw it.
Could have been JV too. They played Effingham last night too, but I didn't see a score from that. But if they played tonight, it's not on their schedule on Max Preps, but that doesn't always mean anything. And I know May River boys volleyball played Battery Creek tonight,
some guys volleyball in action, which is really cool to see.
But I don't have a score.
Yeah, I don't have a score there. And then
that was about it.
We got some girls golf tomorrow. Hilton Head Prep and is taking on Holy Trinity at Port Royal Golf Club, and then some girls tennis also underway. Hilton Head Prep JP2. So things are starting to.
We did have a tennis match yesterday. Came in late.
Great.
JP2 beating Colleton Prep 8-1. So they dominated. They swept all the singles.
I do have, so they did. HHCA did play tonight. They played Savannah Country Day. They lost 3-1. 18-25 the first set. They won the second set 25-21. And then they lost 23-25 and 24-26 was the scores there. So
gotcha. There you go. You don't happen to have HHCA tennis schedule, do you?
I do not. I can probably look it up, but I do not.
Schedule off to.
I've been hunting down. I still got a few schedules I haven't been able to hunt down yet. So our schedule is as completed as it can be. But yeah, that's about it tonight. The big story was definitely the golf. The Sharks with their dominant performance up in Columbia, and then great to talk with Coach Dyer as well. I'm excited about that. We are only now, less than 48 hours removed from high school football again. So we're coming back around to it. We got two games on Thursday with Hilton Head at Stall and Lawrence Manning at JP2. You'd think Hilton Head would be well positioned to win that game at Stall. I would think so. Stall hasn't been very strong the last few years. And that other game is interesting because Lawrence Manning's been in the state title game the last 2 years and 4 out of the last 5, but they lost a ton. I went through last year's roster and it was senior.
Yeah. That's certainly a big factor.
Like, whoa. Yeah.
That's the important factor when you see a ton of guys like that leaving and graduating, moving on. But JP2, I think it's an opportunity for them to make a really what could be a really strong statement if they play well. I don't necessarily say win, but if they put together a good effort and keep it competitive and keep it close, that should bode well for them in an early contest that doesn't mean as much compared to what we're seeing later on. But for this JP2 team, I think they win a better result than what we saw last week against Carleton Prep. They could, credit to how well that defense played and keeping them in this ball game. If the defense can show up the way it did today, they're gonna keep this game close, and I think that they can do that here at home. So if you can maintain the effort, I think Shane Milligan's done a good job of growing this team and getting this squad to where they want to be. And so I expect a good effort from them here at home. And Hardyville, Richard Gray Sports Complex, great home to watch some football. They will get on the grill and always get a good crowd over there. Right? So it should be a fun Thursday night atmosphere to start off the week.
Yeah. I think we don't know what Lawrence Manning's gonna look like for this game. That's the first thing. The second thing is with Sanders going down, I think that raises a couple questions as to how they're gonna finish. How they're gonna play out the rest of the season.
Right.
Being that I don't know what Lawrence Manning looks like as a whole, I think I might have to go to that game on Thursday so I understand what JP2 is going to look like for the rest of the season. Because I think it's a very important game for JP2. Now with Sanders out, I think you gotta I guess regroup and figure out what the next step is if you're JP2, because now
next man up. You probably slide somebody out there. I think they had the Wolf kid splitting some time in the backfield. I suspect he'll slide out there and Jolly will just carry it more. Something to that effect. If they don't have somebody else who can slide in there, if they don't feel like their too deep guy was the next man up. But it stinks, but it's any football coach will tell you they expect it. It's coming at some point. You're going to lose somebody key and you're going to have to slide some pieces around and bump somebody or bump somebody up. So I think you'll probably see them lean even a little more heavily on the run than they have, because Sanders was kind of their proven threat on the edge, although Dante Aiken is a threat too. And they got some guys. Sean Phelan at tight end is he could be a weapon. So I think you'll see them run it a lot, and they ran it effectively. They just couldn't hang on to it. They kept getting into third and long situations, having to throw and throwing picks. So they had 5 turnovers and still only gave up 16 points. So that's really encouraging from that standpoint. I think, like you said, Wes, if they can hang in early on defense, keep themselves in the game and not get into a situation where they have to try to play catch up and have to throw the ball, then they got a shot. If they fall behind a couple scores and they got to start chucking it, then it could be a long night. So,
I'm excited to see how Connor Brown, that offense, is able to play your first game at home after going up on the road back, in the Lowco area. Obviously, Carleton Prep's the outskirts of the Lowco. It's still considered Lowco, but like Beaufort County, Hardyville, Jasper County, to be specific. The core of the Lowco.
Original Lowco. The original Lowco is Beaufort Jasper, so that's the OG Lowco.
Yes,
that's the OG Lowco.
Yeah, but it's like I said, great atmosphere over in Hardyville. Really fun to watch these games, and always get a good crowd. And this JP2 team, don't sleep on this squad. Even with who they lost. Christian Tilton was a game changer every time he took the field. Had unfortunately some injury problems throughout this past year, and tough to see the year end like it did for Christian Tilton. Probably one of the best to come through this JP2 program. They've had a couple of athletic quarterbacks. We'll see what Connor Brown can do, and then they've got some interesting skill pieces that I think could really step up. And as we said, comes back to that defensive effort. It's do you want it the most, and can you set the toe at the line of scrimmage and make it difficult for a new look Lawrence Manning team to establish that run game, because really it's key. You have, obviously read the column, special breed, but Skeeza games normally are won and lost in the ground game. Can you get the blocks? Can you create havoc in the trenches through the defense? And so it's going to be a fun matchup between an up-and-coming JP2 team and Lawrence Manning squad looking to find its footing in a very different team at bats for when you look at the Swamp Cats. So these are at least
they've got a new
fun.
coach. Although it's his second stint there, but it's been a few years.
Good.
And first game, so
right.
They'll probably have some sloppiness and some things. So I think it's interesting. Hilton Head, I feel pretty good about. Stall, they won 2 games last year after 3 consecutive winless seasons. So it's just kind of a downtrodden program. They just haven't had a lot of success. So I would expect Hilton Head to come out strong on the road against them. But 5A school, they're going to have some athletes. They're going to have some depth, and so we'll see. New quarterback for Hilton Head, Ranajeski. I like him. He's young, so I think they're in kind of a similar situation as JP2, where they really need that ground game to be effective and keep them in third and short. Because if they start having to put too much on his shoulders, it could get to be a problem for him. So, but I heard scouting report on Hilton Head's defense that I got was linebackers are tough. They play downhill. DBs are a little suspect right now. Secondary is a little suspect. So, they got some work to do there. I don't know what Stall does offensively, but they'll have to keep the ball in front of them, not give up big plays. That'll kill you. You can play great defense all night and give up 3 plays and lose. So you just can't allow those big plays. But I think as long as they do that, I think they'll be in good shape there. So I'm excited, man. You know who I saw today at work? Speaking of high school football, the man, the myth, the legend. One time.
Yeah.
One time was cutting the grass at my school today. I was so happy to see him.
Love it.
It was great to see him. We look forward to seeing him on Friday out at Hurricanes after the game. Well, I'll definitely see him at the game. We'll see if we can get him to Hurricanes after. Join us on the show. Our buddy Sam Williams, Sammy Dubs, gonna ride along with me out to Hampton. So he's planning to get back in the mix here this season with Lowco pigskin coverage. So he may be with me on Friday night, and then he may join us Monday night for the the roundup, the look back, the reflection, the round table. Maybe we'll have like a high school football round table on Monday nights. That sounds kind of cool. That'd be good. But anything else tonight, boys? You guys got any other topics of conversation before we get to parting thoughts?
Just so you know, I did track down the HACA tennis schedule. You just find it on their website.
Have they played yet? Oh, okay. It's up now.
They don't play until the 29th, and I think they open up against let's see, JP2.
All right.
August 29th at JP2.
I may already have that schedule in here. I don't know. I just knew I hadn't seen any of their games yet. So
anyways, I'm just excited, man. Friday is going to be
our first full
fun. And I will definitely be out. Yeah, I'll definitely be out at that JP2 game too, because I'm interested to see how JP2 plays and how Lawrence Manning looks.
Yeah. I got softball practice till 8, so I probably won't make it, but I might pop out there after. We'll see.
Don't worry.
We'll see.
I'll be on live from JP2.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Dang right. Hey, the Lowco Booster Club supports us, so please support them if you can. Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court are Lowco natives with Charter One Realty. They want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel and much more over at their showroom on Argent Boulevard, where you can see what they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You can wander in, get some great conversation, come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Floors so clean, your feet will thank you, from Chris Odom and his team. He gave us our thumbs up tonight. We appreciate you, buddy. Hudson's Seafood House on the docks, the official sponsor of Under the Bus. Those guys will be recording Wednesday night, 7 p.m. live. So be on the lookout for the fellas and get over to Hudson's and get some seafood. And finally, Hurricane Sports Cafe jumping on board with us this season. They gave us great hospitality last year, didn't they, Wes? Man, they took care of us at Hurricanes. I look forward to seeing those guys on Friday night at 9:30. I'll be live from there. Running command on the 2-minute drill for the Lowco Pigskin Live. You guys will be out at your games, and hopefully we'll be getting some live look-ins from various different games around the Lowco. Sounds like Dietrich Schufert is going to join Team Lowco on Friday night. BA has the night off, so Dietrich going to go over to the Thomas Hayward Bethesda game, and he'll be able to report on that for us. And I believe the coaching staff is splitting up and hitting a couple of SCISA games too, so they'll be our eyes and ears out there at a couple of places. So it's going to be fun, man. Friday night's going to be good times.
Love it.
Very good times.
Love it. Hey, especially this part of the season. You know, it's first game for a lot of these teams.
Hope springs eternal.
High school league. Yeah. Yep.
I jumped on an IG live earlier with Amari Patterson and some guys from 4D talking smack at each other, so that got me riled up a little bit.
Oh,
they was talking mad smack.
That's been fun rivalry. It's like the third year they play each other. I think they had a home and home, and now they're going back to Fort Dorchester.
Yep.
I forgot. It's week 0 for college football this Saturday too.
Week 0 for college football. Week 0 for high school league. Week 1 for SCISA.
Yeah.
I'm calling it all week 1.
Yeah.
Because I called last week 0, so I got to call this week 1.
Yeah.
I thought high school league did away with week 0. I thought high school league just said.
I feel like they did, but then again, like week 1 wasn't really. Well, this past weekend wasn't really.
That was week 0. That was week 0 because SCISA still does week 0, but high school league doesn't anymore. That was my understanding.
Okay, we got that screwed away.
So it really is week 1.
It's week 1.
That's what we're calling it.
Yeah.
Yes, we finally won the battle with the high school league. Now we just got to get the SCISA to stop playing week 0, and we'll be good to go. So, any other parting thoughts, boys?
Yeah, I got an interesting one that came across today. We talked a few weeks ago about the return of NCAA football, that franchise, EA Sports bringing it back. But I heard that another iconic franchise is coming back, and you'll probably know this one if maybe you're in your mid to late 20s, maybe 30s. I'm talking about the Backyard Sports video game franchise.
Backyard Baseball?
Was popular. Yes, Backyard Baseball with the legendary Pablo Sanchez coming back. And there will be new games that will be made starting at the end of this year into 2025 . So that's
God,
cool. That's cool. Especially for this generation that grew up on those games and never thought they would bring them back. So
the GOAT.
Cool. Yes.
Pablo Sanchez is the GOAT.
I'll tell you what, I know you talk about Bo Jackson and Tecmo back in the 80s or 90s, but Pablo Sanchez certainly is a case.
He's a hero, man.
I mean, my guy was Tim Brown in the original Tecmo. I'd just drop back to pass, get to like the 30-yard line, and then drop back all the way to the back of the end zone and wait, chuck it like 80 yards in stride. That was the greatest. I love that play.
I will say though, the college football game. If any of you haven't played it, you got to play it. It's so much fun. Dude, literally, that's all I've been doing nonstop for pretty much the second half of summer.
I'm gonna try to save up some cash and get the.
I'm trying to talk my son into
the
PS5.
New console.
I'm trying to talk Truman into a PS5 because
you're talking him into a PS5. What are you? What?
I mean, spending his money. I'm trying to talk him into spending his money on a PS5.
Justin, it's usually the other way around. Usually, it's the kid that acts the parent.
I'm trying to talk him into spending his money on a PS5 so I can play it.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I want him to buy a PS5.
Can you use your cash to get a PS5 so I can enjoy it, please?
Hey, you've been saving up your cash, right? Don't you want a PS5? Actually, you know what? He may not have enough saved up right now because he bought a scooter a while back.
Oh,
he decided he wanted a faster scooter, so he had to. Nice. We went halvesies with him for a scooter upgrade. Because all the kids in the neighborhood got these scooters that go like 18 miles per hour. It's insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're all going to die. They ride them to school. I'm terrified for them. My child doesn't ride it to school. But, it worries me. These scooters. Scooters and golf carts. Threat to our teenagers.
That is the truth. I can't tell you
how
many young kids see driving golf carts. Anyway.
Don't get me started on the children and the golf carts. Any other parting thoughts?
Thanks.
We shared a lot tonight.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued because I'm going to be at Battery Creek on Friday night for that.
Right.
Battery Creek on a Christian Academy game. never before. I don't think these two teams have ever played each other.
First meeting all time.
It's really a first of many because you don't really ever see private schools.
They have
around
never
here
played each other. No,
First
they've
meeting ever.
never played each other.
I don't
First
think
meeting.
you rarely see private schools around here playing public schools. Because the last game I'm thinking of is Bluffton Thomas Hayward.
Yes.
Yep.
Thomas Hayward should have won.
That was a classic.
That
yes,
one
they should have
That was a classic. Yeah, they Bluffton.
And Thomas Hayward beat Ridgeland.
Came back and beat him. They were down like 3 scores.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were boat racing them at halftime, and then they came back and beat them. It was crazy. But yeah, so we've got a couple of those because Creek plays JP2 also next week. I think.
I'm very intrigued.
So at the Battery Creek for going out and scheduling those Skeeza games and credit the Skeeza
I
games.
talked to Susie.
For...
I talked to Susie about it, and he's like, "Look, man, we don't care. We want to play local games. They're going to draw a good gate and be competitive."
Anywhere, something like that. Yeah.
Well, he just felt like they're going to be competitive games against local opponents. They're going to draw well. Like, why not? You know. So maybe it'll kind of start a trend. It'll either never happen again at Battery Creek, or everybody will start doing it. One or the other.
Yeah, I mean those two games are very intriguing because you just don't see it often, and it's very interesting and very exciting because I know both teams obviously are going to show up for these games because it's gonna But the fans, I feel like the fans for both teams are going to all show up, and it's going to be really fun and exciting.
They've burned me before, but I really want to believe in this Creek team. I do have a belief that this particular group of kids is built different than the Creek mold. And I don't know, man. Susie's pretty upbeat. He's really happy about the progress in the weight room. And, I think they're going to be bigger, faster, and stronger than people expect them to be. Whether they execute well is another thing, and whether they stay healthy. But
if they can,
athletically and physically, they're going to be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I think this will be a competitive game.
I agree. I 100% agree. I think from what Reed McCollum showed me last week, I think if he can settle in, this could really be a real competitive game.
If they would have played last week, I think if that was Christian Academy's first game, I think Creek would have been in trouble. But now they've seen the film. They know what this dude's about, and they're going to be ready to play center field and make sure they don't get torched. They may still give up some big ones, but I think they'll be a little better prepared for it than they would have if this was his first
I agree.
start.
I think if it was Battery Creek, Christian Academy last week, the way Christian Academy played that first half against Porter Goud, I honestly think, I agree, Battery Creek would have been in a little bit of trouble there.
I think they might have been.
Honestly, at one point, Porter Goud was in a little bit of trouble against Christian Academy too in that first half because Christian Academy was up in the first quarter and for most of the second quarter too.
They were just trading punches for a while there.
I know, and it was like, wow, this is very interesting. So
but they did wear them down, and I wonder if Battery Creek will be able to do the same.
Yeah, I think
it's gonna be good.
It's going to be a really good game. I'm very intrigued by this, and I'm really excited for it.
I think it could be a nail biter, and I also think it could be potentially he'll make Christian big if they get up early. It could snowball. But I also think it could go the other way. I really do.
I think if Reed McCollum settles in and he doesn't hesitate on his throws, I think it could be a major problem for Battery Creek.
I do agree with that. That man has a massive arm. I mean. We've been watching his film in class this week. The Hardyville boys are marveling.
Genuinely, he is the dual threat quarterback, isn't he? Because he can run and he can throw with a 6'4" stature. It's just it's really, really fun to watch him play.
He's pretty special. He looks like he's going to be pretty special. I'm excited to watch him for the next 2 years. It's going to be really fun, and the recruitment could be really fun too. It could get interesting, so that'll be cool. Speaking of Hilton Head Christian and Battery Creek, here's my parting thought. We have an Instagram account, if you haven't seen it, called HHCA Football Betting Lines.
Yes, I followed it. Nice. I followed the account.
And the line has opened at HHCA -6.5. We are not encouraging you to gamble on high school sports. Of course, they had last week's game at a 1.5 point spread, and it was a 30-point spread. So, I would have hammered Porter Goud on that spread. By the way, I would have been winning a lot of money on that.
I did too.
And I would have taken the over. I'll be taking the over every Hilton Head Christian game from here on out.
Well, they started that count. I think started following my Mad Max broadcast page.
I'm they're tagging LowcoSports in their opening lines.
They did.
Now.
And I looked it up. I was like, what is this? And then they showed up on their stories like betting over and unders on stuff, and I'm like, what?
I mean, look, this is well done. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who's running it, but it's well done. After an interesting 33-63 loss against the Cyclones of Porter Goud, there is indeed a lot to digest. The HHCA offense seemed back where they left off back last fall. Reed McCollum firing on all cylinders with 3 total touchdowns and over 500 all-purpose yards, while Joey Haupt, Harry Cunningham, and Harrison Arnholt were Reed's main targets and had big nights. We saw flashes in sophomore Crest Langhals with 5 receptions, 45 all-purpose yards, and 1 crib call on the ground. I mean, like, it goes on and on. It's pretty legit. Pretty legit. They're doing good research.
I want to know, like whoever's running this, like, shout out to us because
I need to get them right. I need to get them right in our Hilton Head Christian Academy.
We definitely want to talk with you.
Like, they need to be right in our Hilton Head Christian Academy preview. They're already doing all the research.
Highlight package. That highlight package I put together from the game that I posted this morning. Like you just like that follow that post, and so I was like, I need to know who this person is because I feel like having him on the show and getting that statistical aspect.
I don't think they're going to reveal their. I don't think they'll reveal their.
I don't either.
Given the nature of their accounts.
But whoever's doing this, it is a really good.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm down for it.
Yeah. I know there are also there's always some smack talking Instagram accounts as well, memes and stuff. Those are pretty funny. But anyway, I had to bring up the betting lines because I saw the line opened at 6.5. So
6.5.
Good stuff. 6.5. I mean, it's not a bad line, honestly.
No.
That's probably a good place to set it. I think most people would take Hilton Head Christian at that line because I think a lot of people think they're going to win. But I would be. I mean, if it was 7.5, I might take Creek. 6.5 makes me think. So it's a pretty good line.
Yep,
it is a good line.
Pretty good line. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Could have set it a little higher, probably, but it's not bad.
I think this is a very intriguing game because it's something we just haven't seen before. These two teams have never played each other before, so this is going to be a first of many.
Yeah,
but first of many, first time things. So, and I can't honestly remember the last time Christian Academy played a public school team during the season. Honestly,
I don't know that they have. I can't think of a time that they have. And the time before I got here was their infancy, so I don't think they would have then.
Because I don't ever remember. I mean, the most difficult teams they've ever played were now 4A programs back when they were playing 2A football. That was like the toughest opponents they had. I never.
Well, Savannah Christian, I would suggest Savannah Christian last year was the toughest opponent they've had. That team
easily,
but was unreal.
I think over the years, I think Savannah Christian and they've played Hammond a couple times. Those are the two schools that you just look at Christian Academy schedule, like, oh boy, this should be interesting. But I don't think I've ever seen Hilton Head Christian Academy in all my years of being around HHCA sports.
I don't think so.
Especially football. I don't think they've ever played a public school. So this is a very big deal for them. Playing a public school program. So
and Better Creek's gonna have a chip on its shoulder too because they don't want to lose that game.
No. Because if they lose that game, guess what? They got to play TP2 next. Like it's just,
that's a team that'll sneak up on you, especially
they got something
to prove. Academy.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. Battery Creek does have something to prove, and if the hype is true there, it could be a very interesting game on Friday. But I'm really excited for this, and I can't wait for Friday. And
I'm excited for what Whalebridge can do at Bluffton because Warriors and Jerry
that's a fun matchup.
They always got a hardworking group of
and they got a pretty good secondary, so there's some hope on their end that
Aiden McCarthy likes to the football. Can they find a way to disrupt that? So
I mean, Dale Brown and
May River
and Jermon are both good.
Yeah, that May River Airport game's looking interesting too.
Yeah,
should be pretty. I think May
good
River
slate.
probably
Very
has an
good
edge
week one
there.
slate.
I think they
yeah,
do
it's
too,
solid.
but it could be
I
interesting.
can't wait to go. I can't wait to go to Hampton on Friday, man. I'm so psyched.
Yeah.
Me and Sammy Dubs going road tripping out to Hampton. It's going to be good.
Nice.
But hey, we got still a couple more nights to talk about these football games. So we'll wrap this one up, bring it in for a landing. We'll be back tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. We'll talk more sports. Who do I have lined up tomorrow night? I know I got guests. We are in for a treat tomorrow night, boys. We're talking a lot of football. We got Colleton County head coach Adam Kinlock and his former player, Whale Branch star Alonzo Allen, joining us tomorrow. You're going to get a little lesson in Gullah, because those two guys are going to start speaking in a language that you can barely understand when they start talking to each other, and they may poke some fun at each other. We're gonna have a good time tomorrow night. Two of my favorite guys. So looking forward to chatting with those guys tomorrow night at 9:30, and then we'll be back Thursday night. We'll do the lowdown, the headlines and stuff, and then we'll shift gears and go Lowco Pigskin preview and get you ready for all the games on Friday night. And then Friday night, it's showtime, 9:30 p.m., Lowco Pigskin Live. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks so much to Luke Dyer and to Nathan Campbell for coming on and talking with us. Always great to talk with both those guys. Great interviews. And thanks to all of our sponsors, especially our OGs and our All-Stars, Mickelson Law Firm, and to all of you for showing up to listen or watch. We appreciate you, and you're the reason we keep doing what we do, you and the kids. Putting a spotlight on the kids. So for Wes Kerr and Max Arraj, until tomorrow night, I'm Justin Jarrett. Go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.